The old house stood on a hill, shrouded in darkness, its silhouette barely visible against the night sky. Rain lashed against its crumbling walls, each drop echoing the sorrow of forgotten times. Wind howled through the broken windows like a mournful cry, carrying whispers of the past. It was known as the Whispering House, a place where secrets lingered in every shadow. Locals whispered tales of its dark history, their voices hushed with fear and reverence. Stories of disappearances never solved filled the pages of old newspapers, adding to the house's eerie legend.
James, we have to find him. We can't let the house win.
Emma, are you sure about this? This place gives me the creeps. It's like it's alive.
Tonight, two figures approached the house, their steps hesitant but resolute. Emma, her face etched with worry, and James, his eyes wide with fear, moved closer to the ominous structure. Emma's brother had vanished near the house. She was determined to find him, no matter the cost. James, though afraid, refused to leave her side, his loyalty stronger than his fear. They stepped inside, the door creaking shut behind them like a tomb sealing itself, the sound echoing through the empty halls. Emma held her breath, the air thick with dust and decay. Cobwebs hung from every corner, and the only light came from the moonbeams slicing through the boarded-up windows.
Daniel?
She called out, her voice trembling.
This place, it feels wrong.
James shivered. Emma ignored him. She had to find Daniel. He wouldn't leave without a trace, not without her. She pushed open a door, revealing a dusty old nursery. A rocking horse stood frozen mid-gallop, its painted eyes seeming to follow them. A low whisper seemed to emanate from the walls, sending shivers down their spines.
Help me, find me.
Emma's blood ran cold. This house, it was speaking to her. They pressed on, deeper into the house. Each room was a chilling tableau of forgotten lives, filled with echoes of the past. The air was thick with dust and the scent of decay. A dining table lay half set for a meal never eaten. Plates and cutlery were covered in a thick layer of dust, as if time had stood still. A child's doll lay discarded on the floor, its porcelain face cracked, and always the whispers. They seemed to come from the walls themselves, a constant eerie murmur.
Lost, taken. The words echoed in the darkness, sending chills down their spines.
James stumbled, his hand clutching Emma's arm. His eyes were wide with fear, but Emma's resolve was unshaken.
We need to leave. This place, it's alive. The walls seemed to pulse with a life of their own, and shadows danced in the corners of their vision.
But Emma was drawn forward. She felt a presence here, a connection to her missing brother. She couldn't leave. Not yet. They reached the top of the stairs. A single door stood ajar at the end of the hallway, a faint light emanating from within. It beckoned them, promising answers. The whispers intensified, swirling around them like a vortex of fear. The air grew colder, and their breath came out in visible puffs.
He's here. He's trapped. The voice was faint but unmistakable, filled with sorrow and desperation.
Emma's heart pounded. She could feel the presence of her brother, so close yet so far. Daniel was here. She could feel it. The connection was undeniable, pulling her towards the unknown. Section 4. The shadowy figure. They entered the room, their footsteps echoing softly against the wooden floor. It was an old study, the walls lined with bookshelves that seemed to stretch endlessly into the shadows. A fire crackled in the hearth, casting flickering shadows that danced menacingly across the room, creating an eerie atmosphere. And there, in the center of the room, stood a figure, shrouded in darkness. Tall and gaunt, its features hidden by a wide-brimmed hat that cast a long shadow over its face.
The figure turned slowly, its movements deliberate and unsettling, and Emma gasped, her heart pounding in her chest. Its face was obscured by darkness, but two glowing eyes pierced through the gloom, staring directly at her.
James whimpered, paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. But Emma, fueled by a desperate hope and determination, found her voice amidst the terror.
Where is he? She demanded, her voice trembling yet resolute. What have you done with my brother? She cried out, her eyes searching the figure for any sign of truth.
The figure remained silent, its glowing eyes fixed on Emma, unblinking and cold. Then it raised its hand, pointing slowly and deliberately to the fireplace. On the mantelpiece lay a single object, a silver locket. Emma recognized it instantly. It was Daniel's, a cherished keepsake he never parted with. Section 5. A cryptic message. Emma snatched the locket, her fingers trembling. It felt ice cold. She flicked it open. Inside, a scrap of paper fluttered to the floor.
James picked it up, his voice a choked whisper. What does it say?
Emma unfolded the paper. Scrawled across it, in a shaky hand, were 3 words: "Beware the whispers." As they stared at the message, the fire in the hearth suddenly died, plunging the room into darkness. The shadowy figure vanished.
A scream escaped Emma's lips. Fear, raw and primal, surged through her. This wasn't a game. Something was terribly wrong. She had to get out of this house. Now!
Section 6. Unsolved mysteries. They fled the house, the whispers chasing them into the night. The storm raged on, mirroring the turmoil within them. They never found Daniel. The police dismissed his disappearance as another tragic tale linked to the Whispering House. But Emma knew the truth. Something held her brother captive, something dark and ancient.
And the whispers, they followed her, faint yet insistent, a constant reminder of the mystery that remained unsolved.
The Whispering House had taken another soul, and she feared it would not be its last.